This episode is super unique because I have on a old buddy of mine, Brett Devloo. And Brett, aka TBK, the blind kid, is a blind sponsored skater. Yes, you heard me right. And no, he wasn't born blind. He went blind in high school, you guys. And this man is the epitome of grit and resilience and being anti-fragile and just doing everything to continue running with reckless abandon towards his dream. Now he is a husband and a dad and is on a quest to bring his message to youth all over the world. And I'm so excited that we get to have him on Forged Youth. So here we go. Let's dive in with TBK. Brett Devloo, you are back on my podcast, and I am so excited because you have such a unique story and you really are a living example of what being gritty looks like.
Thank you. Back with a whole new brand with you now. I like this. This is really, really cool.
Thank you.
Been
I
keeping
feel
my
like I
eye on
came
it.
home
It's
to it.
great. Hey, it seems like it was always meant to be there, you know? It makes sense.
Yeah, totally, totally. And I love that your story resonated so much with my podcast when it was based on mental health. And your story just also is so extremely important for youth today to hear in the sports realm as well. So look at you being able to go all over the place.
In the pocket, you know? Keeping it in the pocket.
Oh man. So for those of you who haven't met Brett before, TBK, do you still go by TBK or are you doing
Yep.
Brett?
I still do the TBK and it's whatever anyone wants to call me, just not anything mean. No, it's TBK still because you know what? We're always still kids at heart, and it's always that's still the clothing line brand. That's still the brand that's helped the foundation, and that's still the base. That's still the foundation. You know, the
I love
foundation that helps the foundation.
it.
Double meaning.
Oh my gosh. So, Brett, why don't you share a little bit of your story because you were young and you lost your vision, and that didn't stop you from pursuing your passions and your dreams. And that is such a phenomenal story. So, just bring us back to kind of who you were when you had your vision and then what happened and how you've kind of managed now.
100%. Yeah, so I lost my vision when I was 16, but before that, I started skateboarding when I was 4, and that's been my main love my whole life till I
Mm.
met my wife. She's listening. So my my favorite thing in the world has always been skateboarding, and when I lost my vision on November 23rd, 2011, it didn't even slow me down really at all. My first thought was, well, I won't be able to keep watching the progress of the indoor skate park in the city that's being made, so I know what is done, so I can go rip it. And the day it was finished, I remember we had a group of guys going like, "Let's go to the park, like let's go check it out." And I'm like, "Yeah, pick me up." And then my dad's like, No," and I'm like, "What? Why?" He's like, "You're gonna get hurt." I'm like, "Probably," but that took a while. Uh,
Mhm.
and then I told him, "Hey, Dad, you know the snow is going to melt one day, and I am still going to skate because it was in the middle of November in Manitoba when so there was snow." But
Yes.
when I could see though, I was normal life. I had a car, I had a job, I had a good group of friends and all that, and really all I cared about was skateboarding. But then that kind of all just gone. In the middle of history class, I was sitting there writing the notes on the overhead. And I thought, you know how the overhead can get blurry and it's hard to read the words sometimes? I just thought that happened. But then the lights went on and everything was blurry. So it
Mm.
was just me. And I walked down to the eye doctor and I was like by myself because it was a small town. I knew the way. It wasn't really a thought in my mind that something's wrong. I just knew that something was wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I went down to the eye doctor and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" She's like, "Oh yeah, you can come back for I might can have an appointment." She's like, "Yeah, come back at 2:30." It was like 11:30. So I'm like, "Sure, yeah, okay." Instead of going, "No, how about you tell me what's going on right now?" And
Hmm.
we figured this out because I can't see anything. I'm blind. I'm blind. I didn't just like, "Yeah, okay, I'll come back." I went back and went to physics class and gave him the note. And I'm like, "Hey, can I head out at 2:30?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. What's that? What's going on? Everything okay?" And I'm like, yeah, I just can't see."
Mm.
The first time it really started to hit. I know it sounds funny. Oh, it just started the same day it happened, but it really didn't hit me at all yet. Like that was just a, oh wait, that's the problem. And that didn't really phase me either. I just wanted to skate still, just wanted to still be normal and still just keep running and grinding and doing what I do. And that's exactly what I did. Really, there wasn't really much other else to it. I wish I could have an explanation on what caused me to go, I need to just keep doing this. It was just a fire of determination in me to just know that it's just what I do.
Yeah. Oh man. What an experience to be somebody who knows what it's like to have your vision, to
Hmm.
be an active person in your
Mm.
lifestyle, and then to
Oh,
have
everything
something
I did had to do with
so
the
huge.
site. You know,
Yeah.
like everything. I like dirt biking, quadding, pedal biking around, making jumps, jumping off of things, skateboarding, driving, all of it, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, the only things I didn't do after that was dirt biking.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, I wasn't really that good at it anyway, so it wasn't a big loss. I hit a tree with everything I had drove at least once.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, so let's talk about this like drive and this passion for skateboarding. What,
Yeah.
like that is what drove you to get back on a board even though you couldn't see what was going on. How was that first experience for you?
The first time I hopped back on the board,
Yeah.
oh man, it was actually pretty funny because I just knew I wanted to. And I was snowboarding at the time as well. I remember I was when Dad said I couldn't go to the skate park. He's like, "Do you want me to take?" I'm like, "You let me snowboard." He's like, "Do you want me to say no to that too?" I'm like, "No. Can you please take me to the hill?" And so like I still was snowboarding after throughout the winter, but then about February, I brought my board to the school. I don't really know why. I think it was like picture day or something like that for graduating classes. So you're allowed to
Hmm.
bring like a prop of yours. And I'm like, yeah, I'll bring my board. And I either that or I just knew I was gonna skate that day no matter what. And I went to school and I asked the janitor if I could borrow the shovel to go shovel the sidewalk because I wasn't waiting any longer. And he's like, sure, do the rest of the yard too. I'm like, no, no, thank you. I gave it back. And I threw the board down. I put my foot on it. It wasn't any like feeling it out, knowing where it is, scared where is this going? Is it going the right direction? I just remembered putting it down, putting my foot on it, kicking, putting my foot on the back, and just riding. And even just if it was the 5 feet I rode before jumping off and getting so excited that I did it,
Hmm.
it felt like home. It felt like freedom. It felt like this is right. This is the right thing. And I don't know how else to explain other than it filled me up with like a breath of fresh air of like, okay, some things are still the same as they were.
Hmm.
And that's what kind of drove me to make sure if I could do that every day for the rest of my life, because that's what makes me feel normal, makes me feel like me, not normal. Normal is such the wrong word because I'm pretty sure you know that you, me, anybody on this podcast, we're not normal.
Hmm.
That's not what we drive to be. We drive to be better. We drive to be the best. And it just filled me up with this is me, and it feels like me being able to do this. So it was
Yeah.
the most amazing feeling to get back on that board, though. I'll never forget exactly what it felt like. There was snow on either side of the sidewalk. Like it was it was cold. I was it's cool.
Especially in friggin' Winnebago.
Stonewall, Manitoba,
Yeah.
yeah.
So freezing. So, Brett, like how much vision do you have? Like if
Currently,
when
I'd say
like
like
can you
2%.
see the skateboard at all when you go to get on it?
Mm, kind of, but it really depends on the rest of the environment. So I've got about 2 to 5% vision is what I call it.
Hmm.
And when I went blind, I went like immediately, I'd say like 85, 90% blind immediately. And it's just super, super blurry, is what that means. It's not like everything's black. It's
Yeah.
just so blurry that glasses couldn't help it, lasers couldn't help it, none of that.
Right.
Because the eyes technically aren't the problem. So when you have like glasses, it's to correct the lenses that are wrong in your eyeballs.
Yeah.
But it's a DNA mutation, so it's
Okay.
behind the eyes.
Okay.
So there's no like physical procedures that are going to be able to help that.
Hmm.
So with the vision I have, if there's it's very much contrast based. So if there's like a black skateboard on the white concrete, I'll be able to find that much easier than if it's on asphalt. Or if there's a
Okay.
shadow from a tree or a building being cast over the skateboard or where it ends up. Like if it ends up in a shadow, I genuinely it's gone. It's lost. I need help or I'm gonna be feeling around for a bit looking like a kid chasing a ball. And it's embarrassing at the park sometimes, but I don't get embarrassed about that. I just find it and keep going.
Yeah.
But No, I can't see it all the time. And when it comes to like putting markers down for when I'm skating or anything like that, I've been having to make bigger and bigger markers lately. Like you instead of using just one little line of black tape, I got to make a really big line of black tape or throw a backpack and a sweater down. Something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then when you first started, you got on that board and you're like, okay, I just as long as I can do this every day, then, then everything's gonna play out.
Yeah.
Like, so did you actually do it every single day? Because now, I mean, like, aren't you or weren't you a sponsored skater? Like I've
Yeah.
seen you do tricks at a park, man. Like just for
Oh
people who
yeah.
are listening, I've seen this in real life.
Yeah, this
This is
isn't
no
just like
joke,
movie
people.
magic, guys. This ain't no mu movie magic. I've
No.
broken my femur skateboarding. Like this is
Yeah.
real,
Yeah.
and that was this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still going. But yeah, no, it really was every day. And when it comes to even just that day of the first time, I didn't need to see the board then because it was in my hand, and then from my hand is on my feet, and
Right.
everything it was white. It was snow and it was light concrete. So even if it did roll away, I could see it. And wheels aren't that quiet. All of that, I
Yeah.
use my ears a lot, but I really did do it every day after that. And as soon as the snow melted, I did it more places than just that sidewalk. Honestly, I even skateboarded in the halls at the school. I did it anywhere I could. And I'm just turning my mic down a touch because it's a little hot there. I'm going every day I could though. I went to the skate park in Stonewall, the small town, really small skate park, but anywhere I could. It's my favorite thing to do. I was a sponsored skateboarder when I was 18 from a company called Cali Strong, and that was from the first time I went down to Los Angeles. Went to this like county fair in Ventura in Orange County, and when I was invited to there, I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go to a county fair, sure, whatever. And then I forgot I'm in California and things are different here, especially like in LA area, and they were 11 years ago more than they are now, I guess. But I went there and the friend I was with brought me up to this place with skateboards. I'm like, sure. Turns out the guy that owns the company used to like be a partial owner of Nike and owned audio and like audio shoes. You got to remember those.
Yeah.
Converse, he was partial owner of that. I'm like, oh, so you're awesome, sweet. And he has like a bunch of boards. He's like, what size board do you ride? What size shoes are you? He just decks me out right there. He's like, now you're sponsored by Cali Strong. And for the next few years, he sent me Flow like a bunch of new boards when they came out with new boards and just merch, just like gear. But so that made it easier to skate. I didn't care about getting, I wasn't trying to get sponsored for any sort of thing other than making sure I could always skate. Always
Yeah.
had something to skate. And it's not like I didn't needed it. I always had a board around. But
Yeah.
when it just made it easier to make it a lot more accessible, always having a board on hand, having a board in everybody's car, you know? Leave a cane in everyone's car. I leave a board in everyone's car. They're like, can you bring your board? No, you'll need that in there before next time we go somewhere.
Totally.
I don't have room for that yet. You're gonna. I know I still skateboard. Like, did I skateboard in January. I don't care. I'm skating. And there's an indoor park in Hope, and that's my favorite place in the world. And I skateboard there all year round.
Yeah, 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 there is. It's awesome.
Hippie Mike Industries.
So what what I'm hearing and what I have seen is you have immense amounts of like courage to get on the board.
Some people would call it stupidity.
Yes, I'm gonna call it courage.
Ask my dad. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's a healthy mix of bravery, stupidity, courage, and just the fact that being blind took away the fear.
Okay, it took away the fear. It really?
Yeah, it really did. Because what I mean by that is, say if I'm at the top of a quarter pipe that's like 7 feet tall,
Yeah.
I can't see the ground, so I'm not scared of how high I am. I just know how to do it.
Okay. So
I
you
just
really just
go
am
for it.
leaning, like you're leaning into just trusting yourself so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, and that worked for about 12 years, and then I snapped my femur. And that really is exactly how it happened. Like I trust myself and jumped over a set of stairs that I've done a six stair 100 times, you know? Like
Hmm.
it wasn't something hard to me, but my one foot landed on the board, one foot landed on the concrete, board kept going. But
Yeah.
like a month earlier, 2 months earlier, I landed an even bigger six stair down in San Francisco, and it was all based on trust on that one. Like I had to go so far back to get enough speed to jump it that I lost the markers I put up. I just, instead of being two markers, it was just one blurry dot. So I just had to kind of hope I was in the middle of it. And I actually clipped the backpack on my way, like when I jumped. Uh,
Wow. So
Yeah.
like these are such key components when kids are coming through our program, which is,
Hmm.
performance mindset, mental toughness, all this stuff, getting
Hmm.
into
Trust yourself,
trusting
man.
themselves and really like putting in the time, putting in the reps, showing up with
Oh,
courage when
yes.
challenges come. Like it doesn't matter. Don't let that stop you. Lean into those challenges. What are you going
Like,
to learn from it? And here
like,
you
let me
are, you're doing
be,
that.
yeah. Yeah. Like, let me be honest. Like, you can only trust yourself and have the fearlessness be taken away from something like this if you know how to do it and you've put in the time and the effort and like the ability. You have to have the ability to let the fear go. And
Mm,
that comes from putting in a lot of work and putting in the time, putting it in because you love it. Like that's why I did it because I love it. But
mm.
it's putting in the work because that's a huge part of it. And if you don't put in the work, you can't really trust yourself if you don't know how to do it.
Yes, I love that. And that is so true, right? So everybody listening, it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna show up and trust myself. And it's
Mm-mm.
a switch you can turn on and off. It's
It's like
showing
a
up and
dial.
putting the work in. It's putting in those reps. It's putting your foot on the skateboard and
Hmm.
pushing and doing that
Hmm.
every day. And
It's getting up early in the morning if you're and is working out. It's going to the volleyball court every day and getting like it's serving 1,000 times before you go and say that I can serve.
yeah,
Like it's doing that before you get in the game.
yeah. What would you say to young people out there who are facing challenges, uh, and they're maybe like struggling with finding the lesson and leaning in?
Honestly, I would say that when find a way, figure a way out. It might not always be the one way you're trying to do it over and over and over again that's not working, because there is a way to make it work. Struggle
Mhm.
is real and struggle is important because that makes you know that it's worth it what you're doing if it's something you want to do bad enough. Passion's important, trusting yourself is important, doing the work is important, but what the realist part is finding a way to do it. If you think right now is too hard, there is a way to do it and then keep doing it that way to be able to make it happen. Like I started out with people standing in places and making noise, and that didn't work for me because I didn't always have people. Where I'd go somewhere where I was alone to skate and I would lose my board. You have to find a way to hear it, find a way to find it, find a way to do it. Like there'd be I remember the first time I had to use markers and I had to use like paint and tape to make sure I knew where things were because the ramp blended in with the ground and I went straight for a ramp I didn't know was there. And instead of bending my knees and preparing for it, I went head over and went right into it. I just
Yeah.
face first into the ramp, strained both my wrists,
Yeah.
and because I had to brace myself because I wasn't ready for it to even roll out. So you have to be ready to bail too. But
Yes, yes.
yeah, it's finding a way is what the most important thing is if you're struggling to get what you need done.
That is so important is like the creative aspect and problem solving. And that's something that I actually have talked about with only one other person on this podcast. And it was actually the one that I did right before this. And it is
Come on, that guy's so cool sounding. Check out
it's
his episode too.
but it's the power of problem solving and getting creative. There isn't just one way from
Mm-mm.
A to B when it comes to your dreams and when it comes to us growing as people and growing as athletes. And a lot of times people get dissuaded because they do think that there is only one way. But it's
Oh,
like,
that's why people give up a lot. Like, there's one of the biggest examples of that, if you don't mind, sorry for cutting you off
no,
there.
do it.
There's at Hippie Mike's, the indoor skate park, HMI, there's this wall, like a vert wall, a quarter pipe that goes up to like bricks on the wall. But in the middle of that, there's this metal rail that literally goes in the middle. It's not to grind on, it's to go over. You go up one side, go over it down the other. And that was like something I needed to do. But I don't know why. I just saw it. I'm like, I gotta do this. Like, it's so
Mm,
hard looking and it's something a blind person should never be even want to do. But and I remember I took bales off the wall. Like I was up and I went down. And
mm,
I'm like 6 feet off the wall down to my like belly. And even Hippie Mike said it himself in my documentary that he's like, there is people would quit after some of the slams I took off of it. But when I
mm.
made it, it wasn't because I just tried it the same way a bunch of times. It's just because Hippie taught me a way that works for me. Like he looked at me, he watched how I'm doing it, he pulled up and he's like, okay, come at it from this angle instead. And as soon as your front of your board is over the rail, you can turn down. So the first time it was pretty low that I went over it. But then when I but figured it out, and now I can like hit the bricks, like I can go up like 6, 7 feet up the wall and then crank it down. Then I had to learn to crank it in a little further because I kept hitting the other wall when I landed it. So it is definitely a trial error figuring it out. But
Yeah, and it's
and then the
not giving
determination.
up. Like you didn't give up and you
No.
haven't. And I just know that it's not in you to be a person who walks away from something. And so
Mhm.
that's such a powerful piece too, is that, in our lives as athletes and even when sport ends, you guys, there are going to be things where it's just like, oh, it'd
Just
be
life.
easier just to walk away.
Yeah,
But
no.
but then who are you when you're walking away? What are you instilling into yourself?
I'd argue you're like a shell of yourself if you walk away from something you want to do, man. Like that definitely takes a piece away from me. If I walk away from something that I need to do,
Mhm.
like I didn't land that sixth stair afterwards because my leg was in two different pieces. And I
Yeah.
still want to go back to that today. And I'm
Yeah.
terrified too, but I need to jump over that. I need to own that, you know?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
landed it like twice before, but it was sloppy. I need to ride away. And that's like terrifying for me, but I gotta do it. Don't tell my wife. She told me I'm not allowed to.
She's gonna listen to this,
I know. I know. She knows.
So I am curious, though, when do you think is a time to walk away? Coming from somebody who isn't good at it, who doesn't like to do it, is there ever going to be a time where you think it is,
Yeah.
what does that look like, though?
Honestly, I probably won't go back to that stair set, and that is the time for me. It
Yeah.
was like, and I want to. The problem is that I want to, but the
Yeah.
smart thing is to not. Like, there
Yeah.
is a time and place where it's smart to be like, hey, that will hurt me to a point where it might not be able to come back from. There's
Right.
some things you can't recover from, and that's just a fact. That's a fact I don't like to admit, but
Yeah.
it's a fact.
Yeah.
Like, there are things like if it's something that'll change your life for the worse in a way. I know that sounds really open-ended, but if
Yeah.
there's something that is gonna injure you, like, and not be one of those things that if it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger. There is a limit to that. That's a fact. Like, and I hate, again, you just said it. I hate saying that, but there is a line. And
Mhm.
I'd say that line is where, let me think about that for a second, honestly, because that's a hard one for me because I haven't walked away from anything yet. I literally didn't walk away from that either.
Because
Got
your leg
carried
was in
away.
two pieces.
Yeah, yeah, I tried standing up. I felt like I was trying to step on water. Ugh.
Ugh.
And the time to walk away from it is when it's gonna hurt, man. When it's gonna life alteringly injure
Mhm.
yourself. Like, don't go and kill yourself over something that's not worth it. Like,
Yeah.
when the risk is way higher than the reward, then don't do it. But make sure that risk is higher than the reward. Like, that's
Mhm.
that's important. Don't just take that as an excuse. But there are times where the risk is not worth the reward.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna try and like train yourself to the point where you can't like even stand up for a month at a time, and that means you're not gonna make it to the Olympics if you can't stand up right now. Like, you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta be able to be smart about what you're doing.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%. So with you and your circumstance, how much has your environment and the people in your life, how much have they contributed to you being able to continually show up for yourself?
Oh, dude. If it wasn't for, again, I talk about Hippie a lot because he's very, very important to me.
Hmm.
But if it wasn't for Hippie Mike, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have gone back to skateboarding after breaking my femur. Like, I
Hmm.
probably wouldn't have had the fire of determination to go as hard as I do already. Like, I'd probably stand on a board again for sure, but I wouldn't have been in the hospital the day after surgery using my hands to bend my leg to make sure I didn't seize up my knee and make sure that everything worked. Like, I was taking physio and everything so seriously and never letting it be something that stopped me because I knew that I had this. I had a team. I have a skate team I'm
Mm,
on. I have people that Hippie Mike broke his leg in four different places, three different places, and he still skates. He still does blunt windshield wipers and jitterbugs jumping off the top of a quarter pipe onto the board. Like, so if he can do it, well, I can do it. And
mm,
also, it'd be pretty disappointing if the dude who lost his vision and kept going didn't keep going. But
mm,
it really has to do with like the biggest one to me was Hippie Mike, and my wife knows who I am, so she wouldn't be stoked about me not doing that. I got a brand new baby boy, and I want to make him proud of who I am. And
mm,
there's just so many things where it's like there's the people in my life, and even when I was in the hospital from that, Hippie said had damn near the whole west coast of the skateboard community message me on Instagram, making sure that I was good and telling me that I got this. I had like
mm.
Andy Anderson, he's the best skateboarder in the whole world, message me and be like, dude, you're coming back. I can't wait to skate with you again. Like this is, it's gonna be hard, but you got it. Like
Yeah,
it's the fact of having a support team. It's the fact of having knowing who you are and knowing who I was personally, and
yeah.
just needing it. It was just important.
Quick pause to say thank you. If you're listening right now, you're already a part of something powerful. We're here to help young athletes and their families build grit, resilience, and purpose, and your support makes that possible. Did you know that over half of podcast listeners never hit follow? That one click actually helps us grow, get bigger, and reach more people who need to hear this. So if you're enjoying this episode, please hit follow or subscribe. It's free, it takes a second, and it really does mean the world to us. Now, back to the show. And it's really beautiful too how you have, this coach, this mentor
Mm.
beside you who's really building into you and
Oh
you
God,
trust
yeah.
him, hey?
Oh, I trust Hippie with everything I got. Like that was part of the reason I didn't land it that day, to be completely honest, is he wasn't there. Like,
Mm,
he
yeah,
would have told me what to do different the times I didn't land it the first nine tries.
yeah,
And he literally would have said, "Don't ollie so high, don't do it like that. Just cruise off of it, you'll be fine." And I still wouldn't have listened as much because I like it to look cooler, but
yeah,
it would have been right. And Hippie's the one that he'll take me places that he knows I'll push my limit just enough to be what I want to do. And he
mhm,
knows that when I say, "Oh, I don't know if I could do this," he's like, he'll stand me there and go, "Do it." Like that's his line. And it sounds so
yeah,
dumb, but anytime he says do it, it just makes sense. And I do it. Like there
yeah,
was a time I was working on a rail, like trying to grind to like an 8 foot rail down a set of stairs, small set of stairs, but regardless, it was going at a downwards angle. And it probably took like 45 tries. And on one of them, I slipped out, landed on my back on the rail and like bruised my ribs. And
oh,
I still kept trying because Hippie like came up to me, stops me. He's like, "Hey, breathe, stop, breathe. Okay, visualize it in your head. I know you can. Think about it." And then he just grabbed me by the back of like the shoulders and just pushed me forward, like bend me over, going like, "Now lean forward into it." And I landed it the next time. It's just he
yeah,
knows, and having somebody like that in my life is just so important. I need that, because I
yeah,
want to get better, and I've been pushed to my limits of knowledge of knowing what to do and how to do it. And he's taken me places where I never would have skated, never would have thought I could do anything at. We went to a DIY skate park under a bridge in called Marginal Way, just outside. I think it's in Seattle,
mm,
and it's all concrete. It's gnarly and it's like big walls. And he set me up. He said, "This is something you could do. Like, go feel out the whole park, but this is something that I know you could do, and then let's push it." And I rode up this whole wall, wrapped around a corner, came back, did a hand plant on a bubble, like on a, that's all gibberish, I'm sure, to most people.
I love it. Look it up, you guys.
Yeah, I did a hand plant on like some people call it a hot dog, some people call it a bubble, some people call it a boob, but I'm sure you can figure out what it looks like. It's just a roll in kind of thing. And I went up that hand plant and back over it. But it's the fact that it starts with, "I know you can do this."
Hmm.
And yeah, no, it's very important. He's the best, and I'm so grateful to have him because like it's literally just he knows, and he's been through it. He literally broke his leg as well to the point where he had to do recovery, not just a broken ankle or something where it's once it's healed, you could do it again. It's like he had to get his leg reconstructed and relearn how to walk to the
Yeah.
point where now he skates still, He's 46 years old and he still rips.
That's awesome.
He taught Andy Anderson how to skate. Like, this is amazing. He's amazing.
I love how jacked you are about him.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
just goes to show that it like having that mentor, having that coach in your life to push you to your limits, to be able to like create those like safe spaces for you to really go outside your comfort zone because that
Hmm.
is where we grow, that is where we learn, and that's where we like evolve into the next version of us as athletes and as people.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and I love that you brought up that he told you to breathe and he told you to visualize it.
And stop and slow down. Like, because I
Yeah.
was getting to the point where I'm just running back and trying again, running back and trying again. And guess what? I wasn't trying anything different each time. So it
Mm.
wasn't helping. So it's like, hey, like I get it. You really want it, but maybe think about it.
Yeah, be
You're right.
intentional.
Yeah, exactly. Think about each step of the way. Don't just think about getting on the rail. Think about how you're going to ride out.
Yes. And I appreciate you saying that so much because this is something that we bring up with our athletes too. And so I'll use all you athletes listening, right? Visualize it. What does it look like when you do that in your head? Like, what does it look like? And not just like zoomed out. What does it look like?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that was gnarly. No, like
Step by
zoom
step.
in step by step. Yes, Brad. Yeah.
Visualize each part. Visualize yourself getting up to it. Visualize yourself doing it. Then visualize yourself after doing it. And then visualize the smile on your face because that's important too.
Yeah. Yes, totally,
Because you did
totally.
it.
Yeah, buddy. I the breath part. Like
Oh, slow down.
calming down your nervous system. And it's so interesting. Like when I was younger, breath really didn't come into too much when it came to sports. It
Mm-mm.
wasn't really a hot topic at all. But now we know so much more about how breathing helps our entire body and our
From your brain to
mind.
your body, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Feeling you need oxygen to be able to let your brain actually think and actually be
Hmm.
able to do and visualize. In the weirdest, most cliche thing to say here, but you're gonna have a blurry vision if you're visualizing it without air in your head, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You're funny. Um, but that is And I love that you are coming from the world of skateboarding because, I've had rugby and swimming and volleyball and basketball and football and NHL and, all these like crazy
Oh,
sports
quick
that I've
flex.
been, I've been, I've been looking for somebody from the skate world to come in and speak about this because skateboarding is near and dear to my heart
Well,
too.
that's what I was gonna say. You used to be a part of the skate community. Well, you're always a part of it once you're in it, but you used to have a half pipe in the backyard.
Yeah, a full pipe, yo. Half
Oh.
the half pipe was in the living room.
Legendary. And
Oh my
like, oh,
God.
dude, yeah, okay, you're actually gonna love this sidestep for you that for something that you personally know, Mario. You remember Brock?
Yes.
So me and Brock had the most divine reconnection. We're best friends, like still to this day. We're brothers, you know.
Hmm.
But where we kind of, when I moved out here and he stayed in Winnipeg, there was like, or he moved back to Winnipeg, there was like a little bit less of a connection between us, and we didn't talk for a while, kind of. But he had somebody introduce him to Hippie Mike's Instagram because of Andy Anderson and Hippie Mike, and he's just like, "This is so cool, Hippie Mike." And then out of nowhere, I get introduced to Hippie Mike from a guy named Britton who used to own a local skate shop. Pretty much because I was like, I need to get back into skateboarding with all my heart. Like music wasn't fulfilling me very much, and I was doing that with everything I do it with all of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I gotta get back into skateboarding, and I know I want to support local because that's how you do it. So I looked up a local skate shop. I went to him. He's like, hey, you want to come to this indoor? I think I got a cool place for you to skate. I'm like, sure. So he brings me out to Hope, introduces me to Hippie Mike, and from like it was immediate, you know.
Love it.
He just showed me around the park, taught me something I've been trying to do for 13 years, maybe even longer, and I did it that day just because they taught me how. But then me and Hippie are just like that, you know, like just tight.
Hmm.
And Brock sees me on Hippie's Instagram and is like, "Oh, come on, no way." So then that's how we reconnected. He liked one of the posts, and I'm like, "Oh, broccoli? No way!" So I got, so then yeah, no, now Brock and I talk every day. He's coming back out here. I got to introduce Brock to Hippie Mike, and it's just so full circle. Like
Hmm.
skateboarding is important, not just, and sports are important, not just for like yourself, your body, your mind, and your determination. It's important for your community, your friendships, your people you meet throughout it too, and what it does for
100%.
you. Yeah, so I just needed to say that because it's just so important.
No, it is so important. And you know what? That's one of the things that I loved most about the skate community
We're
too, is
family,
that it
dude.
was a family.
Yeah.
It was
Oh
a
yeah, we're
hundred percent a
family.
family. Like we had family meals over at our place and everybody from
Hmm.
the skate park would come over and, have a barbecue and
We do
whatever,
that at
right?
hippies all
Like,
the time.
yeah, yeah. And
We
so
do
that's
that at
a
HMI.
yes, yes, right? And so it doesn't matter what sport you're in, it isn't just about you and being an athlete. 100% that is amazing. And that
Hmm.
is, we want that. But also, what is your buy-in to something that is greater than just that? And that is the community, it's the whole team, it's the family.
Because guess what? You might not be the best of your sport for the rest forever, but you're gonna have your family forever.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the family you made there. Hippie's still got people in his life that he's known from when he moved out here in '98, and like I've still got best friends from skating from when I was a kid. You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. Same with in the volleyball world. It's
Hmm.
phenomenal. Yeah. So I want to go back and talk to you a little bit about your recovery from your femur
Heck
because
yeah.
you said something there and you said that you had to make sure that you were moving it properly and you were like it sounded like right away you were fully invested into being a recovering athlete rather than
Yeah.
spending time like in, doom and gloom that you're not mobile, you started to take action. Tell me about that.
I appreciate you so much, Mario, because like everyone else who I would tell this to is like, okay, but take things seriously, or like that's not what's the most important, and you understand that it is.
Hmm.
So when I even broke my leg, when I was at the hospital, I was I called Hippie Mike from the ambulance, and I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to make it to the skate park tonight. Why? I'm on my way to the hospital. I'm in an ambulance. Oh, what? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I told you not to go too hard. I'm like, yeah, well, I did. And I'm like, I don't know. I might have dislocated my hip or something. I don't know. Maybe it's broken. He's like, if it was broken, you'd be screaming at me. I'm like, huh, cool. Thanks, Dr. Hip. So I get there, and when I got the x-rays, and they're like, yeah, snapped in half and a spiral fracture down the rest of your femur. I'm like,
Oof.
oh, oh, will I be able to skate again? Like, first question. And they're like,
Yeah.
yes, we're gonna make sure of that. I'm like, no, because like that's my life. I need to be able to skate again. So you get I literally was like, so can you get like the best doctors on this? Like you get somebody who's gonna build me back to be able to like I'm on a team. I'm a professional skateboarder and I need that. So if you can make that happen, that's what
Hmm.
we need. And he's like, I'll do my best because I know what you mean. I'm like, perfect. So when I was in there, they did the surgery the next morning, and I have a metal bar from my knee to my hip. I have two screws down by my knee and one screw up by my hip because I it broke only 2 inches below my hip. They barely
Oh,
had anything to grab on. They should have two screws, but they didn't have the room.
yeah.
38 staples in my leg.
Oh my gosh, you're badass.
They got a really cool scar. And then so yeah, but that first day in the hospital after the surgery, they have you walking right away because they want to know that because it's bones, it's not muscles. Like, yeah, the muscles got torn up and they put you on a walker and all that, but they got to make sure that they everything's connected proper
Mhm.
that you so you can do it. So day one they got you walking, and I was out of there in 4 days. They tried to keep me longer because they said on the on the like results sheet after my first walk, they're like, he still needs assistance. So they didn't write down it's because I can't see where I'm going, and they were only like barely holding onto the back of my gown. And I'm just trying to walk ahead. I'm like, hey, let's go, come on, we need this.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, I'm not staying here any longer. But
Yeah.
that first night, I literally was every half an hour bending my leg as much as I could with my hands because I knew I didn't want that to stiffen up. I didn't want it to be, I needed the mobility and I didn't
Yeah.
want it to be a problem. And I remember the third day, right before I left, this orthopedic surgeon, she came to my bed and she's like, hey, Brett, I'm like, uh-huh. She's like, also, all the nurses were hilarious. They're like, "What are you in for?" I'm like, "Because I was the youngest one there," and I'm like, I jumped over a set of stairs. They're like, "But you can't see." I'm like, "That's right." They're like, how'd you do that? I'm like, "Not very well, clearly." Do you want to see the video? And they're like, "Yeah." Um, so then the doctor though, she comes up and she's like, "You know how most people like to say they've got a high pain tolerance?" I'm like, "Uh-huh." She's like, "You can say you do." I'm like, you shouldn't have told me that, doc. I got a big enough ego as it is. And so, but after that, it was physio right away. And I did have another friend who got in a car accident about Yannick got in a car accident a few years back, and he broke his femur and told me that the most important thing is physio because otherwise you won't be able to walk. So I just all of these things and hippie saying that just I knew I needed it. So every
Yeah,
day it was every half an hour, make sure I bend my leg as much as I can because that's all I could do. I couldn't do anything else for physio yet. I just
yeah,
had to make sure I still had the mobility until I went to the doctors sorry, the physio, and he gave me a list of things to do. And it was mostly just using one of those elastic bands and
yeah.
stretching my leg, doing stretches, laying on my side, lifting my leg. So it was still mobility stuff, but ones I didn't think of or didn't know to do.
Hmm.
And when it came down to my second time going to the physio, walked in there with my cane and like a walking cane, not my seeing cane. Two
Yes.
canes. And I went in with my walking cane and he looks at it. He's like, "What's that?" I'm like, That's my cane." He's like, "Did you have it before you broke your leg?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Hmm." And just that was like, was screw you, buddy. So from that day, I put my cane in the corner of my room and haven't touched it since because
Hmm.
that was out of spite. And it was what I needed though. I needed something like that. I needed the next step. And he
Yeah,
was saying things like, I told him, I'm like, I want to go back to being a professional skateboarder. So you don't give me like just regular ones. I want the hardest thing you can give me and then a step further because I'm going to do it. And he's
mm,
like, and he had a trainee with him or an intern with him, and he looked at her and said, "Did you hear that? Notice how he said he's a professional. So we need to actually give him hard stuff to do. Like we don't. It's not just to get back to walking and living life. It's to get back to what he loves to do.
yeah,
So that's what they did. Like I never did a one-legged squat before I broke my leg, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to be able to do one-legged squats." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And now I can do them. Like it was, I didn't know I could. And then he's like, "We need to get you to running, jumping, and stopping hard." I'm like, okay. So one of the first things I did was get some shoes that weren't slip-on bands. And
Whoa, what?
I know. When I walk around, I wear Brooks now. It's crazy. I still wear Etnies when I skate, though. Hear that, Etnies? I'm looking for a sponsor. Uh, but yeah, no, when it came down to doing physio and taking it seriously, it was every single day in the gym. I mean, and throwing the mats down, doing the physio, pushing the leg press, doing the bike, and now I'm on the treadmill. I could run on the treadmill again. And I only started sprinting on the treadmill like 2 weeks ago. But it was
Mm,
the craziest thing. I actually have a video because I couldn't stop smiling. I was like just damn near yelling on it, just pure excitement.
mhm,
But in between that sprint and the first time going into the gym, there was days that where everything was harder for no reason. And
mhm.
I can be honest with you and everyone here. I cried in the gym and just screamed and just punched the mats on the ground out of just pure frustration. Why isn't it getting better? Why isn't it getting easier? I'm it just it sucked. But I knew I had to keep going back because there was only one way to make it better, even if it doesn't look like there's an end to the tunnel yet.
Yeah,
There is, and there will be, and yeah.
yeah. No, that's so you just show your determination and your drive and your grit, like in everything that you said. Because so many of us, when we get injured, we we spend a lot of brain power and energy in the oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda, it's too bad, this
Hmm.
sucks, like all that kind of stuff, rather than taking all of the energy and intention that we would have normally have been putting into our training and our competing into our recovery.
Because you gotta get back to training somehow.
Yeah,
You got to get
yeah,
back to competing somehow. Like I had to take a year off of competitions this year, and that pissed me off. I thought I was going to be recovered in 3 months. I was
yeah,
only back on the board like 5 or 6 months later, and even then, it sucked. Like it was
yeah.
hard. I couldn't do tricks. I remember I had to get a whole new board that was a little bigger and bigger wheels just to get it up my feet under me, you know. And I remember the first time Hippie took me out to go skating. He said, "Kid, just go over the parking lot over there. Don't do any ollies. Don't do any of that. Just cruise around. Like, just go. Like, do it." And I did. And I even remember the first time I did a really hard push. It hurt,
Yeah.
but then I kept pushing and I kept going that same day. And I looked around. Hippie was in the middle of a photo shoot. Kalen, his son, was doing his photo shoot as well. And I I did an ollie. I went and grabbed a wall and I'm like, I'm doing it. I don't care what anyone says. I'm doing it. And I did. And then I looked at them. I'm like, did you guys hear that? They're like, what? I'm like, I ollied. He's like, yeah, that's what threw me off of the picture. I thought you ollied. And like, and I'm like, uh-huh. And then we went to another skate park and he showed me a line that he knew I could do. And then it wasn't an easy line. I had to do like ramp down, ramp up, ramp down. So that was really, really intense leg bending and needing to use those muscles that they literally cut through. So
Mhm.
I building those muscles back up was ridiculous. I felt like learning how to skateboard again, like using my little baby leg. But then I did a manual over this top of a bank, and like it was so mind blowing to know, like, okay, there is some progress, and it seems really hard when there isn't progress for a long time. But once you
Mhm.
get that ounce of progress, it's like, oh, okay, here we go. Now let's get some more, and you're not going to get it as fast as you think you are.
But the trick is to not give up. And that has been like the theme for today is like just not giving up, leaning into the hard. And if you love it as much as you say that you do and that you think that you do, then pushing through is just common sense.
And it's probably important.
Oh, snap. Old podcast name, sliding it in there. Love it.
Yeah, yeah, and all of that. Yeah, no, it was wild. Like there was one day actually really funny side story too. If you do you know who Jason Ellis is?
That sounds familiar.
He's a old school vert skater, also a stand-up
Okay.
comic, really
Yeah.
funny dude. And he was in town for a stand-up one day, and I went to it, and I just saw him. I'm like, hey, do you want to go skate? And he's like, yeah, oh yeah, let's go meet up. And he's a vert skater. We took him to a really small quarter pipe, like 2 feet, but I didn't know he wanted to skate with me. I just wanted to be there and like chill kind of thing, skate a bit, cruise around. But he's like, okay, let's get this video. Let's do a 5-0, each of us opposite direction. I'm like, okay. And it was thrown into the fire, baptized by fire. You just got to do it. And I did it. It took a lot more takes. And I'd like to admit I was getting sore, but I wasn't stopping until I got that clip. And I got one and then he bailed on it. And I'm like, gotta do it again. So I don't know. I started yelling at him, like, not obviously mad. I'm like, are you kidding me, Jason? He's like, I know. Do it again. Yeah, no, it's all about it, man. It's all exactly like you just said, never giving up.
Hmm. Oh man. Brett, this hour is like flying by.
Do
It's
you mind if
crazy.
we mention the documentary? Or
No, I
we
was just gonna say, give
okay.
her. Like, what else
Okay.
do you want to say in the last few minutes here?
Awesome. Because that's ironically was kind of the whole point of what I wanted to talk to you about, but you
Yeah.
know how it goes. With the documentary coming out is my documentary is premiering November 22nd privately, so that one's invite only. So if you're a super sick dude, then you get the invite. You're invited, Mario. Um, then
Whoa.
the public one though is on November 28th. It's in Abbotsford at a venue called Open Space. You can find the event link on the event page on my Facebook page, TBK the Blind Kid. And the whole documentary is about never giving up, really. Originally, it was just about me being a blind skateboarder and continuing to skate. My mom and dad even were in it. My wife is in it. And then during this filming, we only had about 12 minutes of footage, and I'm like, well, I wanted to tell it to broadcasting or get it on the show, so
Mhm.
we need 10 more minutes of footage. And we went out to get that one more day, and I'm like, well, I got that six stair in San Francisco, the EMB6, in the last one, like and already in the documentary. So let's go hit a six stair without hippie, because now that I did it with hippie, I could do it without hippie. I couldn't do it without hippie, and that was when I snapped my leg, and then because leave it to me to be like, yes, let me tell you a lot of stories about not giving up, and let me tell you a lot of stories about me being blind and still skateboarding, and the determination and the resilience, or let me prove it. Because then I
Mhm.
snapped my leg, I did all the recovery, and then there's footage of me back on the board skating. And Hippie even taught me something that I had never done before, called a gravitron, where you ride into the top of a bowl sideways and wrap around it. It's ridiculous. And then so it's all about that. It's all about the story of not giving up, never giving up, and proving to yourself. Because that was me proving to myself. I didn't do that for anybody else. Then that was for me, and you
Mhm.
got to prove it to yourself too. But it's all about that. And then to get in is $20 donation, and anything over that, or $20 tickets, and anything over that is a donation that goes towards the foundation where I give blind kids iPads to help them with school, connect them to creativity, all of that. We got really inspirational people doing a couple little speeches ahead of time, and then we're gonna end it with a question and answer panel. It's gonna be just such a fun event, and you're gonna leave with a smile. You're gonna leave with a new outlook on life. And I'm not saying you will or you should. I'm saying you will because there's just gonna be the coolest people there, and it's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to share my story with people and just hope it helps, man. Like it's all about just helping, dude.
Yeah, 100% it is. Brett, thank you so much for coming on today, taking time with us, and for being a living inspiration. You're not somebody who just talks about this stuff. You're somebody who lives it every day, and I've seen it, so I know that it's true. So I appreciate you and who you are and how you show up in this world. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being there for people, and what you do is very, very important for everybody that's been able to be a part of your life. And thank you for letting me ramble and let me just yap away on here. It was it's nice, it was fun, and I love talking to you.
Yeah, you too, Brett. And until next time, everybody, train your mind, build your grit, and forge your legacy.
Let's go. Bye.
You've been listening to Forged Youth. New episodes drop every week, so if this hits home for you, throw us a follow and subscribe. Forged Youth, where resilience is trained.